Donald Trump's promising to sign concealed carry reciprocity. Can he even do it? That is a topic we're going to discuss today because a lot of the anti-gunners are throwing out things like states' rights and all this other stuff, and it's starting to cause commotion and doubt. I'm going to put it out there for you, and I think that I can drive this home where you'll understand why it can be done, and we'll get into the vessel that already exists that should be able to make it happen. I'll start off by saying that, in my opinion, concealed carry permits and the whole process doesn't pass this constitutional test that was established in Heller and Bruen, which is text, history, and tradition, meaning if it's not in the plain text of the Second Amendment, when you read it, it does not say anything about a permitting process. The colonialists, when they were starting this country, they didn't have a permitting process, nor is it in the history and tradition of firearm regulation at or around the time that the Second Amendment was ratified and adopted in 1791. So therefore, it will not pass a challenge on the Heller and Bruen standard. Probably just a matter of time. Can't have all of the lawsuits all at once because we, the membership of these groups, we don't donate enough money to them, nor do they have enough time, so they chip away. But here's the video that Donald Trump put out, and people are putting this out like, oh my God, he's finally done this. This video is actually from 2023. I put it out in 23 when he did this. This is when he was announcing his Agenda 47, I think he called it. When he was announcing that he was going to run for president again, which we know he just won last week. Here's the video. We'll be right back.
Seventh, I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line.
All right, now let's talk about states' rights. States have the ability to do things different in their states based off of how their citizens vote. If they want, to restrict buying Whoppers with cheese, well, then they could vote and make Whoppers with cheese illegal, I guess. Like in Massachusetts, you can't have anything in Massachusetts, whereas in Tennessee, you can have everything. That includes firearms, too. So let's get to the states' rights versus the Constitution. So our rights that are enshrined in the United States Constitution, it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Feelings. And I say that for a reason, because this is getting a lot of people up in a tiffy. Our rights that were not granted, we get them from our Creator, regardless of how you believe. That's when the guys and gals, when they were discussing starting this country and the guys went off to fight the world's biggest navy and army, that's what they said, all right? Our rights are given to us by our Creator, and the Constitution recognized those pre-existing rights, and they put it in the document that was a limit on central government. It was not a limit on the people, we the people. It was a limit, it was what we the people were saying, this is what you can do, government. And there are some things in there that we tell you specifically can't do, such as shall not infringe on the Second Amendment, which is the right to keep and bear arms. Now, some people say states' rights apply to this. And I have some notes that I threw down, and I'm going to reference them real quick so I can stay on topic. Some of the biggest things you'll see right now going around by the detractors is the topic of abortion. Of course, they want to get people's emotions up. Abortion. Well, nowhere in that document called the United States Constitution or in that document called the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Feelings, do you see anything about abortion. But you do see the right to keep and bear arms, the Second Amendment. In fact, I think it's every state now. There are a couple states that didn't have a Second Amendment or a version of it in their state constitution, but states even put it in their constitution as well. Abortion, not so much. And again, remember what Trump said in his video, people are saying he can't do that. Well, I'm going to tell you what I think about that, but first I want to thank the sponsor of the video, and that's Lear Capital. Guys, Lear has been saying for about a year now that gold could soon hit $3,000 an ounce, and it's getting close. And if you've bought some gold or silver, you're no doubt very happy that you did. And if you haven't yet, now might be the perfect time to get in. I chose Lear to help educate my viewers about the strategic need to own gold and silver. It protects you and me against the enormous financial challenges we face today and likely will for years to come. And you don't have to buy an ounce all at once. A lot of people say, I can't afford that. An ounce of silver right now is extremely affordable, and you can even buy it in half ounces and stuff like that in smaller amounts. Talk to Lear. Give them a call. It's 1-800-260-5075 or head over to leargg.com and they will answer the questions you have. There's no pressure to buy. They have a 24-hour purchase protection guarantee, and they have over $3 billion in verified, successful, trusted transactions and thousands of 5-star reviews. Lear Capital is who I trust for my precious metals, and you can too. Again, 1-800-260-5075 or head over to leargg.com. All right, so let's get back to this concealed carry reciprocity. First off, it's not constitutional carry. Jared does not believe in concealed carry permits. I think they're illegal and unconstitutional. However, your states now are shall issue states, thanks to the Bruin decision. So states offer concealed carry permits, even states that have constitutional carry, like many states. Tennessee's is jacked up. We're trying to fix that, but you can get them, shall issue, and they're issued in those states that have constitutional carry for reciprocity issues with states they already have a compact with. And that's where people who are using the abortion thing, that's where they have their big issue. That's where they think they have this win. Because I have a blue state and I am not going to I'm not going to sign a compact that says anybody else can carry in my state, Massachusetts, California, and the like. Well, because of the 14th Amendment, all of our enshrined rights in the Constitution are applied to the states. And the Second Amendment, which is applied to the states, says shall not be infringed. So states cannot infringe on them. Do they? Yes. Can they? No. I'm speaking to the choir here. What if, let's put it this way, does any state out there infringe on the right of free speech, free press? Do they? Absolutely not, because they know what would happen. Are there any states that say, you know what, people in this state, we're going to restrict the Fourth Amendment, which means they're going to have unreasonable searches and seizures thrust upon them because that's how we feel in this state? No, of course not. So can they do the same to the Second Amendment? No, of course not. The heart of the issue is, people have this feeling that it's going to be the wild, wild west if we let people from Illinois conceal carry in Maryland. I mean, they're just going to come and start assassinating everybody. It's not going to happen. Why? Because people who get concealed carry permits have already had a thorough background check, have already had their fingerprints run through the Fed system and the state system. They've gone through mental health checks to see if they were ever involuntarily held in a facility. So concealed carry permit holders are inherently law-abiding people because they had to prove that they're just about as clear and clean as the undriven snow. You're probably not going to find a group of people that are more law-abiding, because of the things that they knew, the hoops they had to jump through, and they knew if they screw up once, the state would try to take away their Second Amendment right. So it's not going to happen. The crime rate for concealed carry permit holders is minuscule at best. All right, so the Wild Wild West thing will not happen. Again, our rights are enshrined in the Constitution, and they're fundamental, and they supersede state restrictions, a la the 14th Amendment. Now I want to tell you about the vehicle that already exists and has been accepted by every single state because it's a federal law. And that's the Law Enforcement Officer Safety Act. That's LEOSA. LEOSA, real quick, what it is, it means active police and retired officers who are in good standing, qualified officers. They can carry concealed in every single state in the Union, including Hawaii and California and New York, and anywhere else who says that the citizenry, oh, you're not good enough. So this already exists, and since Clarence Thomas himself, I've heard him say numerous times that the Second Amendment is not a second-class right. Well, LEOSA kind of created a class system. If it's not a second-class right, it applies to everyone. So the vehicle is already there because in LEOSA, retired police have an ID, active police have an ID, and that if you show it to somebody in a different state saying, do you have a permit, that acts as your permit, and there's reciprocity. Well, you can do the same for people's concealed carry permit. You just change it from for a different class of people, cops, who don't train as much as most really good citizens. Like the people who would take this serious train more than most cops. And as a 20 years as a cops trainer, I'll tell you that I can verify that. So we can use that vessel because it already exists. And yes, force the states to recognize our constitutional right. Do we need this? In my opinion, no. The Second Amendment is what it is, and we are not supposed to follow unconstitutional laws. States are not supposed to pass unconstitutional laws, and I'm, again, preaching to the choir. If I am off topic, in your opinion, if I'm wrong, please sound off down below. Unless you're an attorney who can tell me specifically why one constitutional right in one state doesn't apply in a different state, I think I'm right. And if you are an attorney who thinks you can explain that away on why my freedom to assemble in Missouri isn't the same as my freedom to assemble here in Tennessee, let me know. I really, really want to hear how you can prove that to me. But it's the Bill of Rights, not the Bill of Feelings. And what you're seeing out there are a bunch of blue-haired people who have been melting down for a week, and the mainstream media who are saying Donald Trump wants to ignore state rights by forcing states to recognize concealed carry permits from other states. Boo-hoo, we're all going to die because of that. They're just stoking feelings, and they're using the abortion thing too, just because that's a Democrat playlist, right? How can we piss off the most women specifically? We'll tell them that Donald Trump is taking over possession of their uterus, and that will get them upset, and maybe we can win the election. Well, people saw through it. A lot of people saw through it, and they should see through this as well. Guys and gals, I appreciate you. I'm trying to help you understand. There's a vessel there already, and you can use that vessel, the LEOSA, in your conversations to help your friends understand it's already done. So states' rights don't supersede that, and you don't have an enshrined right to be a cop. So if it works for that, it works for anything else. I appreciate y'all. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. And I'll be on Sebastian Gorka Friday about 4:40 talking about this same thing. So tune in if you haven't. And if you are a subscriber or if you're a consumer on Rumble, subscribe to my channel over there because we're going to start doing things over there, I think, as I see more restrictions coming on YouTube, especially now that the freedom people are being appointed in certain spots. So appreciate y'all.